What's up, everyone? Jeremy Gerard from Mythic Customs here with one of my short customizing tutorial videos. Today's video, we're going to talk about how to paint match the Bronze Dwarf Legion Builder and the Goblin Legion Builder, because they're essentially the exact same color. These are two figures that are incredibly useful when it comes to customizing, and they're also two figures that are going to be part of the Mythic Legions Reinforcements wave, which should be hitting before you know it. Once those hit, once those reinforcements enter the battlefield, we're certainly going to see a whole bunch of customizers using those as base fodder. And if you are new to customizing or you've been doing it for a while, you may want to use these, and being able to match the tones on those bodies is going to be something you'll want to do. So I'm not the best when it comes to paint matching, certainly not my forte, but I have been paint matching those figures recently, and I've come up with a recipe that works for me that I figured I would share here. So let me show you a couple examples of what we're going to match, how I've matched in the past, and then we're actually going to paint one right here live on the video. So the first one I'll show is one, if you follow my work, you're probably familiar with, and that would be my recently shown Mice Kit Customs. So this is a kit. I did a whole video recently about how to use these kits. It uses a Goblin Legion Builder body, and by removing the lower arms and lower legs and replacing them with just hands and feet, it creates a smaller sized figure. But ultimately, what we are concerned with for the nature of this particular video is the head. So in this particular example, I'm showing the variant head that I did for this figure, and that's his little tiny mouse knight helmet. Now, I wanted that to match the body color of the Goblin Legion Builder. So the recipe I used was specifically focused on that. Now, in this particular example, after I made that match, I did add a little bit of weathering and dry brushing to both the body and the head to really give them a little bit more life. In this particular example, I also used some flat black paint inside of the pieces of the mouse's knight helmet, so it looked more like shadows and depth. But the overall color match that I started with was to match that base body. Let me show you another example here. So this is one that I did to match the Bronze Dwarf Legion Builder. The Bronze Dwarf Legion Builder, it's got that gunmetal gray type color. Weirdly, it's called Bronze Dwarf. It's not super bronze. I always think of it more as gunmetal, but that's the figure we're trying to match here. Now, the head that you see on this figure here, that was a head that I created along with Walter DeMarco of Mass Customs. That was printed and sold by Wolf King Customs. The sword he wields is a product of my friend Anthony Houseel at the Toy Forge. Every one of them are artists at Legion Shop, and wonderful people to work with. So in this particular custom, I wanted to create kind of like a dwarven gate type guard, and I loved that bear helmet to do that. I wanted that bear helmet absolutely to match that kind of metallic color of the Bronze Dwarf armor. And if you look at that armor, it is a dark color. It's not a black. And there's a little bit of light on this figure here on this shot. Makes it look a little lighter than it probably is. But it's a dark color, but it's got a little bit of a metallic sheen to it. It's got a little bit of a shine to it when you actually hold it in your hand. And that's what I was trying to go for. It's not a flat black color. If you do flat black, it's absolutely not going to work. It's going to look out of place. So I had to figure out how to match this. And the way that I did that was by combining two different colors of paint in almost equal amounts. So I use a Vallejo black, and realistically, any flat black would probably work, but I use Vallejo paints. So this is the one I use, 950 black. I mix that with this one here from Craftsmart. This is Craftsmart Tin Metallic. So this is something that I get at Michael's. Now, I want to say other silvers would probably work as well, and Other metallic silvers might work for you. This particular tin I find to be a little bit darker than most of the silvers that I see out there. This is why I like this one specifically. I have found that this one works really, really well. Now, what we're going to do here, and I'm going to take, I've got my dwarven guard here, so I'm going to pop his head off so I can use it and I can match to here. And I actually have a fun head that I'm showing for the first time here on this video, and it's this piece right here. This is a custom head that I also did with that same team. Walter DeMarco of Mass Customs sculpted this. Len LaGuardia from Wolf King Customs printed this, and this is a super cool rhino beetle. It's a really cool, it's not an organic looking head as much as it really looks like a helmet that's shaped like a rhino beetle. Super fun piece, super cool. I actually created this specifically to go with the bronze dwarf. I was thinking about my critters and other kinds of characters and animal characters I haven't done before. And I said, you know what would be really cool? A bug type character, a beetle. And because I knew this figure was coming out and rhino beetles are often like that blackish color, I thought this would work really, really well. So if I pop that head on, you can see how that looks. And it's got a really fun profile from the side because rhino beetles are just really wacky and weird looking. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually move this camera a little bit. Bear with me. Okay. Still with me? Awesome. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use a bit of black. And I'm going to take the silver and I'm going to put a little bit less than that, not the same amount, maybe about half that amount. Okay, so if you look right there, now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to use a nice flat tester's brush that I love to use for dry brushing. I'm going to mix those two together. And what it does is the black, because there's more black in this paint tray, the black really overpowers the color. But that little bit of that tin color, that metallic that I put in there, it actually gives it like a little bit of a sparkle, little specks of sparkle. Really, really like that. And if you feel like you might need a little bit more, you can always hold it up, hold the brush up to your figure, and you're like, you know what, that's a little dark. I'm going to add a little bit more of this metallic. See how that looks? This is not an absolute science. Now I might have gone a little too light on that. So you're going to really have to play around a little bit. But ultimately, what you're going to do is you're going to dry brush this on, okay? So I'm going to take this part right here, dry my brush off. Oops. Dry my brush off, and then I'm just going to brush this right on to the piece. And the nice thing with this piece here and with that bear helmet that I did is there's really no detail on it that I want to paint. Because I'm trying to match that Legion Builder, and the Legion Builder is essentially all one color, I'm going to want this to really match and work with that Legion Builder. So this is going to be all one color as well. So I got that in there. And then if I compare the two of them, it's really, really close. Really, really close. Take a little bit more of the silver type area, work that in. Maybe lighten that up just a scotch. And ultimately, once this dries, I'm going to have a really cool, nice looking figure head that matches this body. Super, super simple, but very, very effective. So that's all that I had to do right there to match that. Again, all I did was some black, some of that tin, put that together, experiment, put it in there. Okay, especially if you've got multiple of these. One great thing that you can always do is, say you've got an extra Goblin Legion builder. Take that Goblin Legion builder, take a piece that you're not using. Maybe it's the shoulder pauldron, right? Say that you've got, I mean, if you've got a bunch of Goblin Legion builders, you might have some extra pauldrons. The color of those pauldrons are exactly the same as the color of the rest of the figure. Make your mix and just use that pauldron as your test piece. Put a little bit on there and see how it looks. Does it blend really, really well? If it does, you've got your match. There's a lot of margin for error on these. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect for it to look good. And as this is drying, even dry brushing, you're putting so little paint on it, dries super quick. As this is drying, it's looking super, super cool. These rhino heads, by the way, these will be out soon from Wolf King Customs, hopefully in time for these Legion builders to be available, so you can make yourself some of these cool beetle type characters. Also, the mouse heads that were super popular. Once those Goblin Legion builders are available, those mice kits will be available again as well, so you can make yourself some of those. Hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. Hopefully you can use this super simple paint match. Again, I don't have specific measurements. I try to put, if I had to guess, I would probably say it's 1 part black paint to maybe 2/3 of a part of the silver paint, but mix it in, see how it looks for you. Add, if you need it to be a little darker, add a little bit of the black. If you need it to have a little more metallic sheen, a little bit lighter, add a little bit more of the tin or the silver, and you will get the color that you want. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did find this video and videos like this helpful, please like the video itself. Hit me up in the comments if you have any questions. And certainly, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, consider doing so. Until next time, I can't wait to see what you make.